Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another week of educational education. And this education is brought to you by our sponsor for the week and for most likely eternity, Offit. That's right, head on over to offit.com for the latest and greatest in anti-masturbatory technological advances. We have products ranging from mirrors for you ugly people, photos of ugly people for you beautiful people, the anti-masturbation cross for those of you that need the help of God, and the latest invention, as told to you by me last week in my personal anecdote, fucking the cayenne pepper sauce. Tremendous. I personally recommend the pepper sauce. It's good if you're on the go. No one's going to really question it. And if you ever forget to get chili sauce on your kebab, you can just sprinkle that shit on. Tremendous. Type in paths to get 10% off for today only. It's not the day after today. It's not the day after the day after today. Nor is it the day after the day after the day after today. But if you do go on the fourth day, you will still get the 10% off. But from then on, it's pretty much nothing. So it's either today or 4 days from now. It's how this offers work. Man, I really got close to it. But I don't think I have time to record this shit again. So yeah, basically, no masturbation. Alright, here we go. So this week we talked about what was me. It was me, the fucking conquistador herself, Laura Arias, and our tremendous Mexican Diego. Stuck inside with the quarantine, but not really anymore. We talk about our feelings as we venture out into the world, and Laura and Diego start working in hospitality again. And yeah, it's just basically about our experiences during this corona season. I actually got tested a couple of days ago, and the test came back negative yesterday. So, we talk about the whole testing process and testing experience as well. Then we go into North Korea, of course. Very obvious segue before going into World War II and other, tremendous topics. Let's fucking get to it. Alright.
Hello.
Here we go.
Hello.
This is our first attempt at starting this episode. Just in case.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. So, how are we feeling? We said we were feeling unsafe a bit going outside.
Yeah, I mean, it's not over.
It's not over.
Yeah. So people think like now they're safe to go out and keep doing whatever they were doing before the pandemic, and I think they don't realize how dangerous can be. Like to keep going out again, going to the restaurants.
Yeah.
It's overcrowded. I understand the feeling like they need to go out.
Yeah.
But do they really? It's just they want to. I don't know. It's different. You can see, like us. I don't think that to feel fine or to feel better, we need to go and dine in a restaurant.
Yeah.
There's, I don't know, like a percentage of the population in Sydney that they cannot continue with their lives if they're not going to a restaurant, if they're not going to a coffee shop, if they're not doing, the gym membership continuing. I don't know. That's what I feel. That's what my perception. That's what I see.
Yeah.
Now in Sydney, that I'm going out and I'm seeing people and I take the train, and even since like 2 weeks before they shut down the restaurants, you can see the people not using masks, like a face mask, and in the city.
I think it's because we just didn't get hit that hard. So we don't... It's... Like, the reality of it for us is that not that many people were affected, so... We don't have, we're just going off the news, which told us, hey, you have to be careful, you have to be like this, you have to do that, and looking at the rest of the world, but then nothing really happened, so Like,
Yeah,
once-
but what people were expecting, like to happen something
I don't
to,
fucking know.
you know?
Yeah, I think I think they did it out of fear, and like once they realized that it's not that bad here, it was like their fear went away, and then they just started.
No.
No?
It's not that bad here because they close the restaurants.
Yeah, it's not bad here because we are in Australia. You know, and Australia has this magic.
Well, I mean, we haven't gotten hit that hard.
But it's not because it's not because we're not in Europe or anything else. It's because the government took measures in time. So the virus is, I think it's, we should be careful, as Diego is saying. Like, obviously, I think this is going to be seasonal. Like, it's not going to be like once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
It's going to, I feel, and from what I've read, I think it's going to be seasonal. So
Okay.
we just got to learn to live with it. And obviously, to what you were saying about people needing to go out and stuff, I think that gives them the feeling of like normality, or like, you know, I'm living my life as the usual, like everything's fine. But sorry, I feel like a lot of people now are not gonna be able to go out because they haven't been making money, so it's gonna be a struggle as well for them. So that's like the division between the two societies in Sydney and Australia and in the world. Like, people that are struggling and really need to go out, because even if they don't want to go out because they're scared or they don't want to get sick, they need to make money. And the people that they don't need to go out because they don't need the money, but they want to go out because that's their train of life, you know, like they are all the time outside and like socializing, and that's their life, and they don't want to give up on that, I guess.
So what do you think, like, do you think all the restaurants should still be like takeaway, and there should be like no eat-ins?
I mean, it's not what I think or like my idea. It depends of the, because I don't own a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if I own a restaurant, my position or my ideas will be very different.
Yeah.
And you know, like
you're working at a restaurant still,
like maybe I need to continue opening and working so I can pay my debts, continue to generate money, and pay the employees.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a different perspective, I think.
But like, would you? I mean, if you're going to work and you're not feeling that safe, would you feel safe going to work if it was just takeaway? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Or like it wouldn't really change. Like
if it's only takeaway, I wouldn't probably be working.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what a fucked up situation we're in.
No, but I feel like obviously you're gonna be safe here because you're not around as many people as you would if you open the restaurant. I think it's a good idea to open restaurants because you have to open eventually, right? Like it's like the difference, like now or in 2 weeks, like who knows? Like the second wave is gonna come. It doesn't matter when it's gonna come, but when you open everything and people start to go out, I think there's gonna be another spread. The things like, do you want to be smart enough to like, instead, even if the government is saying up to 50 people, do you really want to push people inside up to 50?
Yeah.
If maybe it's not the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
But like, I know people that are like trying to trick the, you know, the measures and trying to, you know, host more people than they should.
Gotcha.
You know, just to make money, when it's like, do you really want to put yourself and your stuff in that position when maybe next week they're all sick and you have to close down again, you know?
Yeah. The fucked up thing is, I know there are like customers that are like fine with it, because even before the restaurant restrictions were happening, like I was hearing stories about places where they were like already limiting like how many people can dine at the same time, or how many tables they were doing the distancing between the tables. And from what I was hearing, it's like people were pissed off.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, I'll pay you extra. Like they were trying to do these deals. It's like,
we're having like calls because people want to host events of like 30 people.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I think there's a lot of people not believing or like not really understanding how, serious this thing is. Like, I don't think people are taking it seriously enough. So,
I don't think we're taking it seriously enough here because we haven't really been that hurt by it.
yeah, but like, do you really need to like
Yeah.
have 100,000 people dying just like in the US to like actually taking it seriously? I will take other countries example for it. Like I don't need to leave it on my skin. I can like, be careful just by seeing what happens in other countries.
It's like, so you're saying like, okay, maybe because we didn't hit that hard, people is really chill.
Yeah.
But why you don't compare to, for example, New Zealand? They didn't, get many cases and everything, but they took even more like strong measurements.
Yeah.
Like they closed the borders before Australia.
Yeah.
They didn't allow to get Australians or any other international passengers. They closed restaurants, schools even before Australia. So they took like stronger measurements, and they didn't get hit that hard.
Yeah.
So why, like, I don't know, like why people here, I'm not saying all of them, but you can see when you go out, even before, when we're still working on the restaurant, you can see people like going out and like in packs, 4 or 6 people, and like, guys, what are you guys doing? It's like, oh yeah, we need to continue with our lives. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But what if you get sick? And you can start like infected people and,
for
and
sure.
everything is, like you can't say, yeah, we're lucky. Yeah, we're lucky, to be honest.
Yeah, we are, exactly.
What? Because do you know how many, how do you call the beds in the hospitals?
Oh.
The units?
Like a ward or like a it's not really common to me, but you can just say like beds.
Yeah, the beds, like there's no
the
enough
capacity, right?
There's no, there's Australia doesn't have enough.
Yeah, no, especially
could you imagine?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
That's like the big problem.
So again, like I think we were really lucky, and people were really they need to be grateful. I believe. Like again, when they opened the restaurant for 10 people on Friday, the next day we went out. Like even if I think it was a little bit, we wanted to go out, we wanted to see our old employer, our boss, and everything. But I think, that's gonna happen on Monday, Tuesday. All the restaurants are gonna be full, overcrowded. They wanna go have dinner, because they miss that feeling.
Yeah.
They miss that feeling to be back to normal. But hopefully nothing happens, and hopefully we don't see this kind of pandemic again.
Yeah.
But the reality, I think is gonna happen again.
For sure.
Not this year, probably next year.
I mean,
like I don't know, like, and now I feel like
do your bets.
like now I feel like can be more.
The most important thing is wash your hands, don't touch your nose, your eyes, or your mouth, and you'll be fine.
Should be like that every time. No, just now.
Unless someone coughs on your face, then
I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, to be honest.
we'll see, I guess.
like I agree with like pretty much everything you said, but I think you're like we should feel that way. We should feel grateful that it hasn't hit us that bad. But I think you like underestimate or you overestimate human nature. Do you know what I mean? Like when all this doesn't surprise me. The fact that we're not taking it that seriously. Like I'm not surprised. And when the biggest shock was like when we went shopping. Like we were going when it was more serious, everyone's taking it a bit more seriously. When we'd go shopping, everyone would fucking stay away, social distancing. But then that one day we went like after the restaurants opened up or whatever, and then was fucking everyone, and everyone was like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Like that surprised me a little bit, but I really haven't. Like I should have expected it. It was like almost stupid for me to be surprised.
But did you feel safe?
No, I didn't.
Correct.
But like since then, we've only gone shopping at night. Like I'm just fuck it.
You see, you even like from this table, you're the one that probably feels more like nothing going on, like easy, like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But you still don't feel safe when you go
No.
out and you see a lot of people.
Yeah, because I'm like, I mean, to be honest, I've been going out of the house now more than before this hit, because I just happened to get like a full-time job when this hit. So if anything, it's more like a weird little story that's happening that doesn't really affect me because I've like spread my wings more than before. So it's like the opposite of what I should be doing, but whatever, I got a job, so like it almost hasn't hit me that hard. But yeah, and I still haven't seen anyone here have it, like get infected, you know what I mean? Like I've heard some stories of people and like friends of friends, but yeah, it's like a little dream to me.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
I feel like that sums up like pretty much it. Like until you feel it yourself or someone in your family gets it, it's like you're just gonna be numb, you know, towards the problem and be like, oh no, that doesn't exist because that's happening in Africa, you know, that's happening in Adelaide,
in China,
you know, it doesn't touch me, so I'm fine.
I'm conscious of that. Like I'm conscious that I'm feeling that way.
Yeah.
And I'm conscious that is not a helpful way to feel, and I'm aware of that. But I feel like there's a lot of, from what I can see and from what you described, it's like people are not conscious of that. Like the
That's the general feeling towards coronavirus here in Australia, but I feel like we're lucky because, you know, I could like stay home for 2 months and not really worry about money. You did have a job, even though you could have chosen not to take it because you didn't really need it. But the serious thing is there's people that have to go out and put their lives in danger because they really need the money.
Yeah.
In Mexico or in Spain, like there's people that they want to stay home, and it's like a public health issue where you can't guarantee your people being safe, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you need to work, you need to pay your rent, you need to give food to your children. I'm sorry, you just gotta go out and put your life in danger to, like, you know, be alive, basically, because you need to eat, right? So that's the real issue. We don't really have a problem here. Like you said, it's just like a funny little story that happened around us. And if it wasn't because I have family in Spain or because you, Diego, have family in Mexico, we will feel just like you, I guess.
Probably.
Yeah, I agree.
And we'll be like, oh man, I want to go out. I miss having a beer with my friends.
To be honest, if you guys weren't living with me, I don't think I would have taken it as seriously. But
yeah. Like the people that I know that are Australian are like, they don't have contacts with the outside world. They're like annoyed that the government is like not opening up faster or like sooner because they don't have that contact with the reality of coronavirus.
Yeah, I think so. Like I reckon if you were living by yourself, you will be probably having parties every weekend or like
no,
you know, like maybe not parties, like
You'll be the one organizing barbecues.
I mean, like 10 people plus.
You know what? I can't even comment. Like I can't say because I don't know.
No, but
I don't think so. But yeah,
it's like despite like the fact or the ugly fact that people are dying because of this, and but I mean we don't know much because we don't work in the hospitals, or like we don't see from first line.
Yeah.
But I do believe people is dying because of the virus. And I forgot I lost the idea. Well, I think the whole thing is we need to like we've been chatting before. We need to change the way that we're living.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the way the things we do, like do less now.
I agree, and
More,
like personally, I'll probably do it. Like I'll probably try to change my way of living a little bit, but I don't have faith on humanity, and I feel like they're in the general.
You should have. That's the last thing that you need.
I don't think that nothing's gonna change. It's just gonna be like.
That's probably one of the saddest things.
Yeah.
Like reality.
It makes me sad, but I think
it's gonna change. People, they're gonna keep spending the same money or more. They're gonna keep wasting.
I think anyone affected by it, like that got fucked with, like financially, I think this will be like their thing that defines how they think of their finances for like the rest of their life.
Yeah, I mean, you will see for the next 6 months how people they're gonna keep behaving and.
Yeah, but again, there's people that can't really choose whether they have savings or not, like even if they want to save because this was just like out of the blue and they didn't plan for it. Some people they don't have the chance to like save because they got enough money just to go by,
Exactly. They're the ones that are gonna think differently, but I think the people that Diego is mentioning are the people that, like, obviously the people going out to eat now, maybe regularly or not, but if you're going out that much, then it's obviously hasn't affected you that much because someone that it's affected, they're not going out to eat. They've like wised up to the sense that, I need to have a bit of fucking savings. Like I don't know, I didn't think of that. I didn't think that way. I was like living week to week essentially before this thing. Yeah. So
I do feel grateful that I had savings.
Yeah.
Like that allowed me to relax and like enjoy my time at home.
Yeah.
And I know I know people that have spent more while they were at home. Like shopping online, getting food delivered. And on a way, I feel like we're out as well by that because like you don't want to put delivery guys in danger either, right? True. I don't know. It's like, do you really need to consume?
Dude, but that's the thing. The thing is like they're at work because they need money, right? Otherwise they wouldn't be at work. So it's like, on one hand you can say like, I don't want to put them in jail. On the other hand, it's like, I want to make sure that they have money. Like you can think.
But do you really? I understand what you're saying, and I thought about it as well. But then I think, do they really think about the delivery guy when they're ordering pizza?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, but I did tip the last one.
You're a good man.
I'm alright. It wasn't my money though. So.
But I think when this delivery thing was being more important, many people start like suggesting instead of ordering through these big companies, like Uber Eats, Deliveroo, whatever, like go inside of the actual website and order through them.
Yeah.
If they have delivery, right? Or maybe like a pickup, 100%. And you can pick it up. Because that money goes to the restaurant that probably they 100%. Need it the most.
100%.
I mean, the big companies, they should, I don't know. Like I don't know how much money, I mean, sort of. We know how much a guy that works for Uber Eats or Deliveroo can get. But it's like Laura was saying, like that delivery guy is risking his life for $10 an hour in these situations. Like maybe before, being an Uber Eats for like 4 hours, that was a good deal.
Yeah.
But now it's too risky, I feel.
Sometimes there's nothing to consider and you just have to do what you have to do. Like, if you're in the fortunate position where you can like contemplate whether you want to work or not, that's great. But like in the context of what we're saying, I'm just gonna assume that everyone that's working, like, sort of has to work.
Yeah.
This is now again like this time is giving us time to think
Yeah.
another different kind of job or work
Yeah.
that you want to do
Yeah.
without, I don't know, going out or
Yeah.
work again 10 hours straight in a restaurant or a bar or an office job or
Yeah,
whatever.
something that you can do from home.
Yeah, and hopefully we can do that.
No, I really think that's the big universal, like, silver lining to this. Is like everyone has to stop, take a breath, think about stuff like that, like what you just said,
Yeah.
and like think about what they want to do, because man, people take the safe option in like getting a regular job, and they're like, this is a safe option.
Yeah.
But those people that just lost their jobs and don't have enough savings, it's like, what? They're probably thinking, what the fuck, man? I took the safe option, like, so that I wouldn't be in this situation, but now I'm in this situation. So
I feel like the bottom line is not how much money, can I get, but I think we should think about how can I spend less, like how can I live, I guess in a smart way where I don't have to spend that much, so I don't need that much money, so I don't need to work that much, So I think that's what we need to rethink. Like, we spend a lot of money on silly things and things that we don't need, and a house that we don't really use. Sometimes there's like people with like beautiful houses, big houses, and they don't even, they go home to sleep because they have to work like 12 hours to afford it. So I feel like we have to rethink that and like come back to our roots. Maybe plant a garden,
Yeah.
Get a tiny house.
I really think, oh man, like I wish there was like a little bit more push for like the gardens, because I feel like people like stopped for a moment when there was like shit running out in the supermarket, and there was probably like a moment where they were like, I could grow my own food.
Yeah.
But I feel like that passed too quickly for them to really get on board with that. But fuck, of course, like, I think if you have like a garden, you should fucking plant some food for sure. And what was the other tiny houses? Yeah. It's honestly like I've been like warming up to the idea like more and more.
Another win for Laura.
Dude, can you imagine if you just had a tiny house, like,
where I'm gonna get all this shit here?
Yeah, I know. Like,
where I'm gonna fit this?
Well, you don't.
But it's empty shit, right?
No. We don't need that. I don't know. I'll build like a mobile podcast station. We'll
Dude,
work it out.
We'll rent an office. Like, it's fine. But like, can you imagine if you just had a tiny house and like it's paid off, and I don't know, let's say you have like a couple solar panels or some shit. You've got like a bit of a garden, and like, what are your expenses really? Like, you're not paying rent. Your bills are going to be minimal. Like, do you really have to go to work? Like, you know what I mean?
That's my question. I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless that you want to generate something, or
you can work like you can even, I don't know, do like casual shifts if you want it. In the case that you wanted to like get, I don't know, a couple hundreds a month to I don't know, buy some like chocolate. I don't even know the things that you really want to have and you can't really give up on. It's like you could like take shifts like once a month, or like have your own business and not really even have to work that hard. If you, for example, you're a photographer, like you can do like a couple of photo shoots a month and you have enough money to live.
I think that's the thing. Like, if you just had so little expenses, like all of a sudden there's not that much pressure on you.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
To get that much income, so something like opening or starting a business becomes a lot more viable because your finances have like slowed down. You can take the time to do that, to invest. You can essentially take your time and invest it in starting a business because you don't really need that much
Exactly.
money. So
That's my point. Like, we have to rethink, why are we spending so much money on, like, because working, it's we're paying our time, right?
Yeah.
To work, and then with that money that we get from our time, we are paying for things that we don't need. Even coffee is like 1 coffee a day. Dude, don't do the maths because you're gonna get depressed, but it's like a lot of money a year.
yeah.
And so yes, and we think that's normal, like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to work because I need my coffee every day in that coffee shop, and then I need 1 pair of pens every month because
And you need
it's
to pay
out of
rent.
Yeah, and like I need a house with 2 rooms and 1 backyard, in this suburb, and need to take the train because I have to work. So it's, if you add up all that, it's like a lot of expenses that if you lived differently, if you didn't spend that much, you didn't even need that work in the first place, that job.
Yeah.
So
That's
we need
like,
to.
as soon as I got this job, that's when like I was fucking so frugal for like a year. I was like, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. And there was shit where like you and my mum would be like, Michael, you need this, and I'd be like, I don't really need it, and like I just wouldn't get it. As soon as I got a job,
I
was
think
like,
you need it like right now, with our way of life, the way that we are living. You need it.
I need what?
Your job? Is that what
No,
you
no,
said?
no. I'm talking about like stuff to buy.
Oh,
In my head, I had fucking let go of so much shit that I thought I needed because I just didn't have the money. But like it was great because I got rid of that shit and I was like, ooh, like I'm gonna carry this forward with me, and I'm gonna like be able to save money. But then as soon as I got this job, I was like, you know what? I can buy this. I can buy that. Like every time, I don't know, for like
Yeah.
2 weeks, I like fucking went a bit crazy.
Yeah. True.
I think I've slowed down a bit now.
I was getting worried.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
But that's the problem with well, I don't want to get into too many terms, but that's the problem with capitalism and consuming things that you don't really need,
Yeah.
but because the society that we live in, or the country or the city, it's kind of like pushing you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they're creating necessities that we don't need.
That we don't need.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard for us that we grew up in big cities, like trying to go in off the grid,
Yeah.
or because what we studied before or what we worked before, we kind of like now in that in that big wheel that push society or consumerism,
Yeah.
that it's really hard to get out because you feel like you need to wake up at every, like from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m., going to work,
Yeah.
come home, cook, do a little bit of something, I don't know, like some
It's
sort
at the back of
exercise.
our head. Like, yeah.
But you need to do it.
Yeah.
But
if you don't
once-
do it, you feel like you're a parasite.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because society is telling you that, like, oh, the people that they don't work or they do things on YouTube or they things on the internet, they don't
Lazy.
they're lazy. They don't support the economy. They don't contribute anything to the society, and I think that's a misconception or like an old thought from.
That's what they're telling you because they need you to work.
Yeah, correct. But once
To
that
get
you
richer
start,
and
like,
richer. Yeah.
you kind of like you start like breaking the system a little bit in a way.
Yeah.
Like fuck it, nah, I'm not gonna consume this, or I'm gonna go green, or I'm gonna go vegan so I can stop the meat market. You know, like even if it's only one person, you start like now. I don't want to say this word. You're motivating more people. This one is better,
encouraging more people
you
to
know?
do it. Yeah.
to do it, to be a little bit more conscious about the life itself,
Yeah.
and then just start digging into deeper like thoughts,
Yeah.
like spirituality and those kind of things that consciousness, that why like why we are here,
Yeah.
like why do I want to live for,
Yeah.
like do you really want to work in this company for like 20, 25 years, 30 years, and then get my superannuation or like my retirement, and after that do something that I really like when you're 60 or 70.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
That's so...
You're depressing us. Thank you, Dean.
No, I'm trying to waken you up. I'm trying to waken you
I
up.
feel crazy every time that's like I feel crazy thinking about that. Like, I just can't even comprehend that.
No.
I can't.
And there's people that they doing it because either they like it, or there's nothing else to do, or because that money, that job, they're giving them the opportunity to travel, to have a house, to have a luxury car, a car that you don't need in Sydney, for example.
Yeah. No, that's like my biggest... That's like my biggest, like, fucking, like, what are you doing? Like...
And it's like... And everything goes related to being successful in life. Like maybe people like in your in your group of friends, being success maybe means to have a house.
Yeah.
Maybe to have a job in I don't know, like in this big company, or you know, or have the newest car. Or
but what's the reason behind it? You know, like why do you think it's gonna make you feel happy? Because I feel like at the end of the day, everyone wants to be happy, right? Or
Yeah,
like
of course.
not successful, but like accomplished, right?
but it's
Like, why do you think having a new car is... I don't think it's gonna make you happy
happier.
or accomplished.
Well, there's people that they
Yeah.
feel happy.
I guess for a week.
For a week, or
Yeah.
maybe, you know, it's like when people they say like, oh, like I'm feeling sad, I'm gonna go shopping.
Yeah.
They go shopping and they feel better,
Yeah.
like for 1 minute,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know, there must be a study or something scientific proof
Oh, yeah.
that when you buy something, when you get something new for you, there's something
Yeah, it makes
chemical
you
reaction
yeah.
in your head, right?
I don't even know, but
But-
yeah.
No, 100%.
It's just like alcoholism or something.
No, it's more like porn. It's like if you
Like
it's
porn?
like porn. If you like if you want to like fucking if you want to meet someone and have like the company of someone in that way. No. Like you can go on the internet and masturbate and be done in a minute and you'll get that exact hit that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or you can like fucking do it the hard way, which is like meeting someone, getting to know someone, having a relationship. That's a two types of like gratification. Like you can get it, like you can get gratification instantly in this fucking modern world, and I guess you're capable of making the choice. Like, do I want to work for it, or do I want to just like masturbate? And that's the same with shopping. Like, do I want to just fucking go shopping and get this thing and feel good and forget about it, or do I really want to think about like what I want and then get that? I don't know.
Yeah, but that could be the same as being drunk, right? Like.
Yeah, I just like the masturbation.
Yeah. I'm not gonna ask you why you know that, but okay, let's move on.
I watch YouTube videos, man.
Hello, mom.
Yeah, like I think the real goal is to, or what everyone is looking for is to be happy. But I think there's many ways to be happy. There's different paths. There's different situations, or like you really need to find yourself. How can you be happy without harming everyone? Or
Yeah, but like, happiness is like a really, abstract concept, and it can mean something different to each one of us.
oh yeah,
It's more
100%.
Yeah, I think we should look for contentment, and because happiness is a state. It's not like it's variable. I feel like you can't be happy steadily. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't know. Like maybe when you have everything that you have dreamed of is like you need to do something else. You need to also feel useful.
Yeah.
So I feel like the important thing is like work towards happiness instead of like trying to achieve it as soon as possible, because once you think you've achieved happiness, what next, you know? So it's like a work in progress forever, I feel.
That's, yeah.
But yeah, we should all get tiny houses right next to each other and have a little community and make our own business. Yes.
Sounds good. That's my only issue, or like get a piece of land. You know, but I think
We'll just split the cost of one piece of land. We'll just put all the houses on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm working now to get money to get a land
that's good.
or a couple. Now that my life is divided between Spain and Australia. Maybe one on each country.
It's alright. We'll just go to Spain. It's fine. You don't have to humor me.
No, but Australia is like, you know, we have to think with our heads. Australia is more expensive. So if I buy a land now, maybe in 50 years,
That land costs.
it's
something.
like,
Dude,
yeah.
we just talked about retiring when you're 60. It's the same. Who gives a shit in 50 years? You don't want money in 50 years.
For my kids.
Dude.
No, kids. Okay,
They have to work for it.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. I
But
don't know.
kids are it's a problem for nowadays, for the current situation.
Yeah.
They create
But what? No,
pollution.
but I need to.
That's right.
I need to bring people to the world that are gonna
to fix-
help the world.
They're gonna fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you sure that they're gonna fix it?
Yeah, my kids are gonna be neutral,
Carbon neutral.
carbon neutral. You know, like they're not gonna participate. They're gonna be vegan. We're
Yeah.
gonna try not to fly, or we'll pay the $2 thing to.
They'll
Yeah,
be solar powered.
we're gonna live in a
We're gonna-
tiny house.
We're going to take this shit and put
The
it in
world's not
garden.
gonna even notice it. Believe me.
Yeah,
They're gonna be
if
small.
No, because if they grow like that, like it's like when you grow in a farmer, or like in the countryside, and you have like these habits and this education. I think you don't. I mean, you can get corrupted, but it's more likely like you have that kind of life. You know, like I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
explaining myself.
Yeah, but eventually you
It's
have
like-
to show them the
yeah.
Upworld, you know, just
of
like
course.
Buddha. Do you know the story about Buddha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching the TV show on Netflix,
Yeah,
but I knew the story anyway.
yeah.
Like,
So you have to. I think you have to show them and just present both of the, you know, not both, but like different lifestyles for them to choose. Because as it makes me happy this way, or I think it'll make me happy this way of life. Maybe it doesn't make them happy. I don't even know.
true.
Maybe by the time they're born, if they're born, there's like a alternative way of living way better than this that we're talking about. So
Yeah.
maybe they will live on the clouds, on
The
Mars.
moon, yeah. Yeah, it's like this movie, Captain Fantastic. I like
I love that movie.
I like the concept. and
I'm not gonna have that many kids, but
who knows?
But they'll live in the jungle.
we're living.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. Yeah, I really fucked with you. Like, you fucked with me a bit. Ugh. It's like, I don't know. They made it feel like a valid thing to just like escape society and like just live
Yeah.
and do your shit, like do your own thing.
Yeah, it makes me feel like, yeah, your kids are gonna be way smarter. They're not gonna have any disease. They're gonna be stronger. They're gonna be, the perfect, ultimate, you know,
Yeah.
healthy human being.
Yeah.
You should do it. It's like, okay, if Vigo says I should do it, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what is gonna happen next month. You know?
Next month. Oh,
Yeah.
amigo. The thing is, like, now
I mean, I'm
winter
not
is
worried,
coming.
Yeah.
And, you know, coronavirus is gonna, how can I explain it? Like, obviously people are gonna have colds and the flu and all these different viruses, and like obviously people are gonna get sick because it's winter. People get sick in winter, so it's gonna get confused with coronavirus. I think people are gonna be hysterical. They're gonna go to the hospital thinking it's coronavirus, and that's gonna be huge for people working in the hospitals. And we should just try to be careful as much as possible.
Yeah.
Try not to get it, but
We'll see how it goes. With
maybe by the time this happens, they have the vaccine. I don't even know how they're going the vaccine.
Probably, I'm like from what I've like read and heard, it can't be good. Like, there shouldn't be a vaccine like that soon.
No, yeah, exactly.
Like,
but we know about coronavirus since October, November. So by October, there could be a vaccine.
maybe.
It's 1 year.
Yeah, maybe. Like,
think.
especially with all the attention it's gotten. But, like, vaccines don't always work when they're... This is just from fucking what I've heard and read. They don't always work when they introduce that early. They don't always work effectively when they introduce that early.
Yeah, but
So,
what's early?
Basically, like, you got to make sure that the vaccine not only does it work, but it's like it's not making you sick, because like there's been vaccines that make you sick, that give you the fucking disease, you know.
Yeah.
So like the problem with the vaccine is not that you have to make the vaccine. The problem is that you have to make it safe, and you know what I mean. Like, that's why it doesn't take 1 day.
Yeah,
It's
I
'cause
know.
they have to-
They have to run a trial, obviously, with people and like test it.
That's why I'm like, I don't know, because technically you can have a vaccine tomorrow, but like that, the reason why it's like an indefinite thing is because there's all these hurdles that can't really be quantified into like, oh, well, you do this hurdle, then you do hurdle number 2, number 3, number 4, and then by then you've got a vaccine. It's like, it's different for every like disease. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
No worries, I'll be over.
I can't wait for them to get the vaccine, a safe and healthy and, yeah, the good one, you know? I don't mean them to rush or anything, I'm just saying, I think science is developing every day and, like, getting better every day, so I trust science, and I'm sure they will find maybe not the cure or whatever, but, like, something to get by.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, kids, just wash your hands for 30 seconds with soap and warm water. And don't kiss strangers.
Unless they're really hot.
Yeah.
Cover your mouth when you
100%.
cough, sneeze, and you're good. Good to go.
I think there's a lot that people are going to take away from this and like apply later, like washing hands. Like, I didn't wash my hands properly. Like, I definitely wash them better than before. Maybe still not properly, but better.
Yeah, I'll wash them better and more often. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why my hands are so dry.
Maybe.
I just wash them like twice a week, so
That's it, man. You're staying inside, so it's fine.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess if one of us is sick with coronavirus, we're all
We're
going
gonna get
down.
sick.
Yeah, we're all fucked. Sorry, guys.
So yeah, where did you go yesterday?
Yeah, so...
To get tested?
What?
yeah,
Are
so...
we talking about this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, why
Fine.
not?
By the time this gets out, I'll be fucking cured or dead, either way. So I couldn't taste... So, like, I had your cookies yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was like, all right, they taste a bit weird, but
Because they were fucked up cookies.
that's what I thought. I thought they were a little bit fucked up. But then I had a peanut butter jam sandwich, and I was like, why does this not taste like anything? Like, what's with this? Like, 'cause I thought maybe you didn't put that much sugar or butter or something. Like, you're trying to make it a bit more healthy. So that's why it's not sweet. But then the fucking sandwich wasn't sweet either. And I was like, I don't know. It took me a while to think of it. But I was like, hey, wait a second. Doesn't, like, something not having taste, like, mean that it's a symptom? So we fucking, what happened? I Googled coronavirus hotline. I called the number. They said, hey, there's this hospital that's open until 10. We went. There was no one in line. There was no one fucking there. There were like 10 seats inside. They all had like been spaced out like perfectly. There were 3 nurses. They were all like in a good mood. They were all joking with me. We were having fun. The nurse took like a swab, shoved it down my throat, then shoved it up my nose. The same swab. I'm glad she did it in that order and like not nose first.
Yeah.
And she put it in a bag and she was like, here's your brochures. And you're like, she gave me like a little lolly bag. It's like, you know, when you go to like a kid's birthday and you get a lolly bag, it was like that, except it was with like a mask and like some brochures and like papers. And she was like, all right, you can go now. We'll call you. And I was like, hey, wait. And she was like, you have to stay inside. You can't go out until we give you the okay. Or if you are infected, you have to stay inside. And I was like, do I need like papers for work, or like, you know, because I'm not gonna go to work, right? She was like, she didn't even know like what to tell me. Like, she's like, oh yeah, we can get you a paper if you want, like a certificate. It's like, yeah, don't I need one? So when I told work that I can't go, they're not like,
yeah, like
calling
there's evidence.
bullshit. Like, yeah. And she was like, oh yeah, we'll get one if you want. Just wait in this room. And just like this like medical room with all this like shit that I could have like stolen, but it's fine. It seemed like a very chill operation. I think there were people there after I came out.
Yeah.
There was like someone waiting.
Like as soon as you got in, so I wasn't allowed to go in with him, obviously. And then I just stepped out. I was like waiting outside the hospital, like 20 meters. I was like, I'm not getting near this virus area. And 2 minutes after you walked in, there's like one woman. And then 2 minutes after that, like an old man with, I don't know, his carrier or whatever. They walked in as well. So there's like, in a period of like 7 minutes, there was like 3 people on the line. Which to me, at this stage, it's messed up.
Wait, what?
I mean, like in 7 minutes, I don't even know the rest of the day. Like people at 8. What time it was? What time was it?
8:30
8:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Like coming in to get tested on a Friday night. Like I don't know. That seems like, imagine just on a weekday in the afternoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's like good. Like it's, you know, that's not bad. That's
I thought it was gonna be like no one. Like,
yeah, I thought
no
there was
one.
gonna be like people, man. I thought there would be people.
Because I think like now at this stage it's like okay, so now we are flattening the curve. Like there's like almost no cases in New South Wales for like a week, and now there's like 3 people waiting to be tested. Like that's because they have symptoms, right?
Yeah. The symptoms.
So if those 3 people, including you, they are positive, we are like again going up. You know, the curve.
Yeah, but like personally, I wouldn't have gone. Like if I had a cough or something like that, like I wouldn't have gone. There's like a more chance that I have a cough, right? But the only reason I went is because the fucking symptom is such a, like I've been sick before and I've not tasted I've not had that sensation when I'm eating, that sensation of like a lack of taste.
Have you eaten today?
Yeah, but I've eaten like bland food, so do you know what I mean?
So it was more like...
But you know what? I had tomatoes today and they didn't really have much of a...
I mean,
you know?
not the Australian tomatoes are really good.
Oh, well, there you go. See what I mean? Like, you can't... All I know is that the fucking peanut butter sandwich, that was... Like, there's a clear difference for that. But I ate that all...
I think we should cook something really spicy today.
Yeah.
To see if you can taste it.
Yeah.
I'll cook.
Fuck yeah.
And, yeah. So we'll just wait, see what happens. I don't know about the 2 of us. Dave and I, we start working on Tuesday for the first time in 2 months.
There was a case in my family that my uncle got the virus, but not the kids.
In Mexico.
In Mexico.
Not the kids.
No, like a family of 4. He got the virus. He got in in the hospital, and obviously his family, my auntie and my cousins, they had to go and get tasted, and they got negative. So even if they were
His wife as well?
yeah. So even
Do they kiss each other?
I don't know.
I feel
Maybe
like,
they
you know,
didn't.
as I was explaining to you earlier, like so the virus gets, I don't know, transmitted through the saliva, right? So if you haven't cough, right, in front of Diego, it's really difficult if you had it, it's really difficult for Diego to get it.
Yeah.
Because first of all, you have to have cough. Second of all, Diego has to like be near you, and third of all, if he gotta get into his eyes, his nose, his mouth, or his ears.
Yeah.
That's the only way the virus. If you get the virus here, like on
Like
your
you
arm,
cough in my back.
yeah, the
That would
virus
be
is
weird.
not gonna crawl up your mouth or anything,
Yeah.
you know. So it's more likely if you're positive, Michael, that me, Laura, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Because obviously we sleep together and we kiss each other sometimes.
Dude, not on my mom's listening.
I kiss him
His
on the
mom thinks-
forehead sometimes. But Diego,
I don't know.
I think you,
Nah.
unless you guys
Like-
have kissed each other and I don't know
I
about
mean,
this.
obviously we're not going to tell you now.
Time.
Like,
I think if I get the virus, it's gonna be on the streets.
On the streets.
because that
Yeah.
sounds way more badass.
But
I was out on the
I
street.
think we're fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But even if we don't have symptoms, I think we should be extra careful.
Oh
As in
yeah,
like,
for sure.
not touching anyone, that's it. And if you cough, just cough in your elbow. And then wash your hands, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't really have any instructions for me, like at the hospital. They didn't say,
Did you pay for it?
no, they didn't pay.
Did
Like,
they ask you for your Medicare?
They
or-
did, but I didn't have it, and I was like, I can't find the screenshot. They were like, all right, don't worry. But it's free. It's free. Like,
So if I go,
yeah, it's free for anyone. That's why they didn't care that I didn't have the Medicare card, because it's free for anyone.
Including non-Australians.
Yeah, it's in their interest to make it free. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean.
Also, maybe all the instructions are on the brochure.
No, I fucking flicked through it. It didn't say anything. Like, all it said was stay home until we give you the yes or no. But even though you guys are in the same house, they didn't say, oh, your roommates can't leave. Like,
Yeah.
they can't go in and out. But you're not allowed to leave. Like,
Well, I did a course on coronavirus spread control, and what I just told you, that's what it is.
when?
On my laptop the other day, online. It's free, you can do it as well. It's like 30 minutes.
From the government?
Yeah, New South Wales.
well, I don't need to do it. You just fucking drop
Yeah.
the knowledge down right here. On the fucking podcast live for everyone.
I
That's
just
what we
saved
do.
you 30 minutes of your
We don't
life
fuck around here.
in like a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, but was the course this interesting? Or
But they needed to listen the first hour to get the...
Yeah,
what I'll
that's...
do is I'll fucking make a disclaimer at the start. I'll be like, if you guys
Yeah.
want to learn all about the fucking, if you want to take a 30-minute course in 1 minute, you just got to go to about like 1 hour into the podcast.
No, you have to listen to the podcast and you'll find out.
Okay. Yeah,
Otherwise,
fuck
they,
Yeah, they're
they
gonna
wouldn't
skip
listen to it.
that. Yeah, we got to get those viewers.
You have to become our patron or whatever.
I'll just
Yeah.
edit the part out where like the course is available for everyone. We just keep that to ourselves.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, when you know things, you are, you know, more, you feel more safe and more calm about them. Like, you know, if you know the science behind how the virus gets spread, you're gonna, you know,
Yeah.
do things accordingly. But if you don't know, you're like, this guy shaked my hand, I'm gonna get the virus. Or like, you know,
Yeah, 100%.
it's like, I touched this thing that looks filthy, you know. It's like, no, that's not how it works.
I mean, you shouldn't be touching things that looks filthy anyway.
Dude, I go on the train, what should I do?
Yeah.
No, yeah, but it's difficult to get the virus. If you just follow the instructions, you don't even have to wear a mask. And unless someone coughs on your face, like literally,
That's my favorite place to cough. Like, if I'm gonna cough, it's gonna be in your face.
There was incidents of people like spitting and coughing.
Oh, yeah.
When they get like aggressive, they're like, "Oh yeah, here's your coronavirus."
So that's ridiculous.
Dude, on the fucking, I told you, on the last day of like restaurants being open. No, on the second last day where I took the train to see you guys, there was like someone on the train that was like coughing on purpose, and you know, it's just that's like a testament to like how fucking not seriously we take it, I guess. Like, that's what I'm trying to say.
Anyway,
That's
minute of silence for
that person.
that person.
Yeah.
You know who you are, person. If you're listening.
I don't know. I didn't watch the news completely when this was happening, so I don't know how they transmitted it. You know, like if they were like being serious about it, or they were making emphasize to, you know, like, hey, this is real happening. You guys need to do this, because even when they announced like the restrictions, the next day people, they were like, you know, still going out, like gathering more than.
I mean,
10
do you
people.
watch the news, Diego?
I do not. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know.
Yeah, so
how was the news?
I feel like half of the population they don't watch the news.
They just read.
I mean, half.
comments.
I just said half, but like I don't know the percentage. But like a lot of people don't watch the news, so obviously they don't know what's
I
happening.
feel like a lot of people our age don't watch news.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's
if
why
you're
the
40
beach
and
was like
above-
full.
I mean, I don't watch the news
next day.
because the TV is not connected to the free cable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
but would you watch the news
Yeah.
if it was? You would?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like especially now, in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like all the people that rent houses, especially I don't know, backpackers, international students, they don't care. They don't mind having a
Yeah,
TV
because they're
with
not-
access to the
yeah.
news. They don't watch the news. They have interesting lives, you know. They go out and explore the city, so they don't need to watch the news. And yeah, sadly, even though if the news are telling you not to go to this place or this other, it's like not everyone has access to it. So.
Yeah.
I also think that if you're hearing reports on like people breaking the rules, like it's always in the fucking news station's interest to report on negative news, because that's what gets a bigger reaction out of you. That's what gets you more hooked to the story. It's like negative news. So
Yeah.
you know, if you hear a story about one guy that fucked up, like, all right, what about the like 1,000 people that followed the rules? Like, that's not news.
Obviously,
I mean? Like-
I'm happy to report.
And everyone's happy today. Like, it's just another
Everyone's
day.
at home. There's nothing to report. Thank you very much. Back to you. Yeah, they say if there's no news, it's good news. So
Sure.
they have to keep
we
news.
have a journalist in here, so.
I wonder where. But yeah, I didn't like at first when they were like trying to blame backpackers about, being the only ones not following the rules. Like, oh, Bondi Beach is full because of backpackers. It's like, excuse me,
Dude, like, they're not that dumb.
there's not enough backpackers
To fill.
to fill Bondi Beach.
And all the pubs that were full, all the restaurants that were full, that day. So
Exactly.
it wasn't only the people that they were on the beach.
Oh, dude, for sure. Like, the people
There's
that are
no-
reporting the news,
no
they're
doubt,
not
no doubt.
that fucking dumb to think that it was actually that. But, there's a lot of people that are going to, like, latch onto that story and be like,
Yeah.
those backpackers, man.
I
100%.
I know
like,
this story went viral with this neighbor. He's a local here in Sydney, and he was like filming with his phone this house. There was like 10 people from Spain and France and blah, blah. And he was like, filming it. So basically what he was trying to say, these backpackers are breaking the rules because there's a limit of like 5 people in a house or whatever. as guests, you know. But these 10 people, they were roommates. They were all living in that house.
Yeah.
But they were happened to be smoking and drinking beer as anyone could do in their own house, you know? And he was reporting them to the police. And he's like, they live... That's another problem. You're allowing 10 people to live in a maybe 3-bedroom house.
Yeah.
Which it's, you know, questionable.
I mean, like... Man, like, we're going into, like, deep waters here, but... Like, that place, I don't know where it was, but there's places...
Bondi.
Let's say, yeah, Bondi. Like, the place where you used to live,
Yeah.
like, the fucking the doctor's office that was turned into, like, a house. That no one's fucking... The only people that are renting that place are fucking backpackers.
Yeah.
Like, no family's going to be like, let's live in this doctor's office.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't fucking make any sense.
Exactly.
So, like, without those people, that place doesn't get rented. So... There's like this whole other fucking problem, which is like there's a market for those types of tenants. So the fucking... There's a market? No. Like those types of tenants exist. So the market fucking fills that niche. Yeah. Like...
That's the thing. Like we sometimes... I include myself in backpackers because I once went where I was a backpacker back then.
In the days.
Me too, just FYI, because I have a backpack over there. See it? Looks really...
Yeah, but I was living with 10 other people in a 5-bedroom house. It wasn't a house, it was like a old doctor's office. So we have our own sinks and everything in our bedrooms. It was really nice, really cool. But yeah, we were paying taxes. We are like living in this country legally, and it really saddens me that like there's people making stories up. Like if I was one of the people that are living in that house that I'm telling you about when coronavirus is around, that's like a really, I don't know, super cheap thing to do, and like really racist. I feel like
I think it's more just like discrimination. It's like those people are maybe
different.
Maybe no racist. So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe racist is not the best word, but like, yeah, this people is different. It's like from other country, and they don't respect my country's rules. But that's not the case. You're just like making it up because.
And it's not like
you could be a landlord, you know. Yeah. That guy could be a landlord.
Yeah.
And those guys are making money out of us being all on top of each other in a tiny house.
No one else is gonna rent that fucking place.
No,
like not for that much money, and not that place in general. Like who the fuck wants? Like I mean, that'd be a cool place to live, in my opinion. But the fucking average family, they don't want to live in the doctor's office. Like
correct.
No, and that was a cool place to live. Yeah. I tell you, for like 1 year or like
6 months,
a certain amount of time. But you don't want to live there forever.
Yeah.
It was fun because we know it was temporary. Yeah. Not because that house was like not livable or whatever.
Yeah. You're not gonna make your life there, but it's a cool place to hang out at.
Yeah, it's an experience. But definitely, don't like the way people are trying to like hold others accountable for things that they are not doing wrong. You know.
Yeah.
But I've seen it, man. I've seen it when there's problems like this. It's like people freak a little bit, and then they're just like, "Who's different? Who's different?" So I can just point the finger. Like
that happens when there's uncultured people.
Yeah.
You know that they haven't been outside even from their own street.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and if you're not my skin color, if you didn't speak my language,
that's like a whole nother thing. It's
you're
like,
a threat to me.
First of all, if you're not on my street. Yeah. Second of all, like what? Yeah.
Thank God that we don't live in America.
Yeah, I feel like Chinese people were the ones that got more attacked from coronavirus.
Absolutely.
And also Europeans, because Italy and Spain are the two countries that were hit the most with this virus. So I feel right now in Australia, these 3 communities, or 2, Europeans in general and Chinese, are like the...
vulnerable?
Yeah. Or are like they have become more vulnerable. Like people don't feel as safe around them as they were before.
I think there was definitely a thing with like Chinese people, like for sure. Which is the fucked up thing is that like our country has, I don't know, like we really depend on China for a lot of things, like especially their students. So, you know, it's fucking national policy to fucking welcome the Chinese with open arms, but then something like this happens and there's like this personal backlash against it. So it's like a fucking, it's a shame. It's like an ironic sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know people that they were getting cancelled. They were getting their Airbnbs cancelled because when you apply for the Airbnb, you have to get your passport and stuff. And because they were from Italy or Spain, they were like getting cancelled. Like, no, you can't stay in our house because you're Italian. Even though they have lived here for like years, you know?
Yeah.
And I know that Chinese students have like special visa to get to Australia. You know, like because of coronavirus. But like if you're European, you forget about it.
Yeah.
So even though they might be more strict now or whatever, like you can see there's like special treatment according to Chinese travelers or students.
Wow.
And it's obviously, you know, politics, but
Is it?
I mean,
Yeah,
Australia and China.
Yeah, we're sort of
They-
China's
they-
bitches,
yeah.
so you know we gotta make sure they still love us.
You know how big China is? I didn't know.
Yeah, we saw a documentary.
Yeah, we saw a documentary. I don't know. Like I don't know how
It's big.
how it's possible that so many people live in, because it's not that big like space. You know, it's not. It's like Australia. Is that bigger than Australia?
I want to say
A little bit bigger maybe, but like
I don't
it
think so,
doesn't seem
actually.
that big. It's
Yeah.
like billions and billions of people in there.
Oh yeah, no, well there's 1 billion-ish people. Like
Billions and billions. Billions and billions of people. Dude, like this, I don't know, like the smallest town, it was like, in 6 years, it came from like, 56,000 people to like 12 millions. Like, just like that, in like 10 years span. Like, it's crazy. So, yeah, I've never been, I think, I've been in China, but I was like just in transit.
Just, yeah.
But I had to change airports, so I was actually stepping on China's ground. And
did it feel different? Did the ground feel different?
really Chinese.
It had Chinese like sort of step to it. Yeah?
No,
That's
quality,
the soy sauce.
quality ground.
Do you taste it?
What? No,
It's a bit soy saucy, like.
no. I didn't need to. What I think struck me the most was like there's like no English signs. No one speaks English.
No.
Not even the airport stuff. Like no one. It was really difficult for me to find the bus to the other airport. And yeah, you can see a lot of people, but like, you know, I don't know. Like I didn't see much. Anyway, what I was gonna say is, yeah, I want to go to China. That's what I was gonna say.
You want to?
I think, huh?
You want to go to China?
Yeah, I should. I think we should go to China and see what's like. Because we talk about China, and China is like part of our lives. If you think about it, like we eat Chinese food, we buy things from China. Our house, if you look at the labels, probably 80% of the things that you own are from China. And I don't know, I'm interested, you know? It's like this little country that you talk about so much, but you've never been. So it's cool to learn about their culture and like the... Even though it creeps me out that they have like become so big in, you know, such little time. It's like, oh my God, I feel like their people are being... I don't want to say abused, but like they're working too much.
I mean,
they don't have a life.
on this side of the world, if we hold them to our standards, yeah, they're being abused. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like there's nets.
I mean,
I don't know if it's the Apple factory, like where they make the Apple phones, but there's like nets, so like to catch people trying to kill themselves. Like, that's
Damn.
like we don't have nets here because we don't need them
Yeah.
at the fucking factory. Like,
Yeah. When in Spain we say Chinese people work, like that's a saying, like you work like a Chinese person.
Yeah.
That's like saying you worked so much, like you work too much even. They don't even close when it's Christmas or when it's
Because they
Sunday.
don't celebrate
In Sunday there's
Christmas.
nothing open in Spain. They keep open, and I guess that's why they're becoming as big as they are. Because they don't have a break.
Or rich.
They don't
I
believe in
think
breaks.
I don't think it's that. I think it's because the fucking laws that we have here, like for working conditions, they don't exist over there. So
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
like-
But they don't expect to have the level of how can I explain it? Like, if we don't have like holidays or if we don't have like this amount of like free time, we know that that's an abuse, right?
oh yeah, we think
That I deserve this time, and we appreciate going on holidays instead of like working more and more hours. But I think they find their value as a person, as a person that contributes to society through work. So the more you work to your society, you are worth more.
I think that's like true for some of them, but for most of them, it's like if I don't work this much, then I can't provide. Like I need to work.
Yeah.
I need to work this many hours to get like not even what we get over here. Like,
Yeah, I don't
do you know what I
know,
mean?
yeah.
Like the fucking they're getting paid less. Their working conditions are just shit.
Yeah.
Like they've essentially
But
turned.
how do you maintain that in time without them, going to a riot or something like that, protesting?
Oh, well, they've done that. Like that's happened. And
Yeah, but I feel like somehow they have like talked them into believing that's that's how you like live, or like how do you reach, I don't know,
I think there's
contentment?
I think there's more wealthy people that think that way, but I think there's a lot more people over there that are just fucking scared to speak out. Like they wouldn't speak out.
Okay.
Like
Because the government, I mean,
yeah,
I've seen a few things when there's some, like either activists, people in China, from China, that they start like doing things and they get into prison
yeah,
or they
Okay.
disappear,
Okay.
because the government is
Okay.
trying to keep you low, like trying to keep you like not to think.
Okay.
But I've seen it, and it's with this, especially with these artists. He does like sculptures and art, but also he criticized the Chinese government.
yeah.
And he got into prison. I think he disappeared for a year or so,
Yeah.
or he was in prison, obviously. I think he got released again. And there is a documentary, like a small documentary about him. Sorry. And at the end, they say like, "Oh, do you have any comments or anything?" And I think they were asking him something related to the Chinese government, or if he's gonna continue with this activism. And he didn't say anything, because if he speaks, he will get more in trouble.
Yep. I've seen lots. I mean, there's been a lot of shit with regards to like China and their government lately.
Yeah.
Like, there's just been so much shit. Like I'll fucking name one thing, which is like I think there was a player calling out China's actions on like a video gamer. Like he was playing video games, and the company. I forgot what fucking game it was, but it was made by the company Blizzard, and they pretty much banned him from like from like a tournament or from the servers or something.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, because Blizzard's biggest the people that buy Blizzard's products the most are Chinese, and they'll fucking like cut the ability for their like residents to purchase those products.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's that level of that's how ingrained like China has become. So it's like even if you call them out from over here,
And that's
that can
how like watched you are.
Yeah.
Because damn.
And like I've seen another video where they're going around to like Chinese celebrities, and they're like, oh, like what do you think of the government? Or, like what do you think of this issue? And I think like I saw one with Jackie Chan, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like he knows what the fuck, but he's not gonna say shit. Like, yeah, I think a lot of people are just that's how you have to be. Like if you want to be on like Chinese soil, and
I mean they I think what I've seen and what some small conversation with Chinese friends that I have is the Chinese government of the country, they makes you think that you're free, that you can go out and come back, but you're not actually free. There's no freedom of speech. You know, there's nothing like that. You don't have Facebook. You need to trick the system to get Facebook.
Yeah.
And whatever other social network that you have, obviously the government is reading those.
Yeah.
So they still like controlling you.
But that's like in Cuba, they don't have WhatsApp or
I don't think
Facebook. And
there's just certain places that they have Wi-Fi.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But that's because
It's
because of the government. Yeah, the kind of government they have.
Yeah. But
I think the difference is like in Cuba, that's like the way of life, and it's not. No.
Like even you as a tourist,
Yeah.
you can. Why are you saying it's the way of life?
Because I don't feel like the people in Cuba, like I don't feel like it's a conspiracy. In Cuba, it's like that's the way it is, and like if you ask like Cuban people, they'll be like, yeah, that's the way it is. But like if you go to China and you're like, hey, what about like Tiananmen Square? They'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's the same.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I think it's the same in Cuba. If you start talking about the government, or you start talking about like
It's the same thing.
You get disappeared.
Gotcha.
Yeah, same. Like now, the Fidel Castro is no more.
Yeah.
But his brother is the same thing. You can't say things. You cannot talk about the government.
Gotcha.
Like now I think it's more open, but it's still, I think they cannot go out.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's like
I know they can't go to America, right? Like that's not legal.
But if they touch American soil, they get they used to, I don't know, with Donald Trump, but they used to get like that citizenship.
Yeah.
Because of the like US, I think not all the countries, but most of them, they have these either, I don't know how do you call it, kind of like agreement. When people from these kind of countries like North Korea, China before,
like refugees,
Cuba, when they touch American soil, they are already not refugees, but like how do you call
Permanent
it?
resident.
Yeah, like politicum. There's like a asylum.
Yeah,
Like you ask for
gotcha.
and you become citizen. Not even permanent resident, citizen.
Yeah.
Straight away. So that's why when there's always Olympics, and Cuba goes into the Olympics, they stayed in those countries.
Yeah.
Most of the
Damn. Like the
it's a fact.
the athletes. Damn.
They go, but they compete, and then
I must say,
they stay in those countries. They don't want to go back.
Yeah.
how do they get like? That's interesting.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
does the
interesting and
government
it's sad.
send them to America to?
Not to America, like any Olympics or where.
Oh,
they-
yeah,
when they go
whatever,
to the
yeah.
Olympics, they usually stay, or when there's some
But how come they participate? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, they still can.
Yeah.
They still can.
But is that like, how do you participate in the Olympics? Like, you have to have met some marks or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, that's individual, or it's like the government is like involved into the Olympics.
Yeah. They're involved, yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't,
So-
I mean, maybe they do expect the people to run away, but...
It's
like,
worth
that's-
it
that's
because
a
you're...
bug, yeah.
Okay.
It's like, well,
Yeah.
how are you going to stop them? Like, once they're not in the country, like, you can't stop them from... You can't make them come back. Like...
Yeah, but I was thinking, like, what's the purpose then? And it's like, obviously, you want to promote Cuba, so people come to Cuba.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is athletes from North Korea. I don't know. I haven't paid. No, there is, right?
I know of one. I know of one boxer that like they escaped. I think they were living in Japan. They became like a champion, but they would still fly like the North Korean flag. Considered North Korean, I guess, but just like they didn't go back to North Korea from what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is a federation, right? Like a sports.
Oh,
They
fuck!
go to the Olympics.
I don't know actually. Eh?
No, I don't know. I haven't paid attention. But
Yeah,
I think in
yeah.
the last Olympics in
Yeah.
Brazil,
Gotcha.
was Brazil, right? I think I saw North Korea
Korean.
team
Okay.
in something, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Once again, like I would expect North Korea to be like you think of North Korea and you're like conspiracy, right? You're like those people like they're gonna. I feel like they would go back to North Korea. Like I feel like maybe that's why like I didn't see Cuba as being the same as China in that way because like when the athletes get a chance they'll run away.
Yeah.
Whereas with China I feel like they're not always of that mindset.
No, because
And I feel
like Chinese, they can go out. If they don't come back, well, that's a problem. But they're allowed to go out and come back and whatever. But Cuba or North Korea, different story.
Yeah.
And I think it used to be they just reopened this country, Myanmar. Myanmar, I think that was the same case, that it was closed even for tourist people.
Gotcha.
Same, they couldn't go out. That's insane.
Yeah.
You will imagine like you being Australian or like living in Australia, like the rest of the country is the same. You know, like the rest of the world.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like like everyone go to the school.
Yeah.
Everyone has a house, car.
Apparently, they have sent athletes.
I think
they
that's,
have.
I've seen them.
Sorry, I was like
No,
Googling
that's like-
because
Dude, you're
I was
the
interested.
fucking co-host. That's it.
But yeah, they've sent a dozen. Let me check. This was for the games in Germany, but I think it's not the Olympics, but like some
okay.
winter games or something in Germany. And they've sent a dozen North Koreans joined the South Korean women's ice hockey team.
Really?
And apparently someone says Lee Sung-yoon, a professor of Korean studies, said, just by participating in these high-profile games, North Korea comes across as far more empathetic. Because they are so poor and backward, we tend to be somewhat fascinated by any glimpse of North Koreans. And what they are working so hard, you tend to root for them because they are such an underdog in so many ways. That's what they have said. Yeah, apparently they have competed on and off in the Olympics since 1964.
Yeah, on and off.
All right.
That makes sense. That makes more sense. Like,
Do they escape or they have to come back to North Korea? Like,
No
or
idea.
they just do it freely?
I think I don't know in that country, in that case, I don't know much, to be honest. But if you have the chance to stay in, you know,
dude, you know, like in North Korea, like from what I've heard, it's like they would think that the fucking, I don't know who the leader is. Like, I don't know what it's called, like the president or the fucking,
yeah, and I know who
the
it is, but
dictator.
I never can.
I don't know like
get
the
name right.
title, but they like it was like that guy has like superpowers and he can read your mind. So like don't even think about escaping. Don't even think about running away. Like that's the level
But
of
that happened when when you close a country and you control everything, right?
Yeah.
The media, you give them the whatever you want them to see.
Yeah.
If they don't have access to internet, obviously, they're gonna think that. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Hopefully, North Korea changes soon. Because never been there, obviously, but I think you can go.
I think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you only can visit certain areas.
And
you cannot go and explore.
I
by
think
yourself.
you've got to like follow like certain rules as well.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be fucked if like you go to North Korea and it's like the best place in the world, and it's like every other country has been like lying to you about North Korea, and it turns out they're like the real free world, and we're all the ones that are being lied to.
I've seen like a video, like mini documentary on YouTube, made by these 3 guys that have been like allowed to go to North Korea for like the last 5 or 6 years. So they have like filmed it
Yeah.
through these 5 years, and you can see like the reality, like it's like this is what it is, you know. It's not like a paradise or anything. I'm just gonna interrupt you guys because I just read about this scene that I was wondering, have any North Korean athletes ever defected? And it says there apparently only one in 1991 during a World Judo Championship in Spain defected. So they, this guy, the hockey player, he went to South Korea through China with her family in 1997. Apparently, the athletes are carefully screened before being allowed to participate in international events, even if they wanted to defect. They will be closely watched by North Korean minders.
Fuck.
In Pyeongchang, I don't know if I'm saying it right.
No, that's correct.
South Korean security forces will also be watching. Even the women's ice hockey players that I was telling you about are not staying in the same dorm as their South Korean teammates.
Fuck.
What is more, said Benjamin Young, a PhD candidate at George Washington University, the athletes have families in the north, and they are the most loyal and treated very well by the regime. Anyway, so they've been watched. So even if they wanted to like escape or like stay in the country, they couldn't. I'm assuming because they have their families threatened and all that
fuck
kind of
that
stuff.
too.
And yeah, so they were talking about the North Korean girls as well going to Canada for like winter games and something, and they will like eat all together with the Canadian teams. And the Canadian team noticed that the North Korean girls didn't have cell phones or anything.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that they were highlighting on the
Yeah, of course.
story.
I don't know.
That's scary, man.
And what if
That's
you-
all I can say.
What if you go to North Korea, like in my case, and I meet someone, and I want to marry her, or I don't know, can
I don't think-
take her out, like just like not saving her, but like in a way,
No, I don't think
because
you
that's the
can
case
marry
with Cuba. That's
her.
how
That's what they do.
that's how they do. That's what they do sometimes. That's what they used to, right? When I was like in my 20s, there was people saying like, "Oh, why you don't go to Cuba and marry one so you can?" But it's also like it happens if you marry someone in Cuba. I don't know if you marry someone in Cuba or something, but it's like, oh,
Yeah, but how do you prove that it's a genuine relationship?
oh, you need, I don't know.
You don't have to.
Well, probably
You would know
not,
all
yeah.
about that.
No, because obviously, wouldn't you, as Diego,
Yeah.
being scared of like someone taking advantage of you because they wanna?
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like some people pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like if I go there and maybe a North Korean girl says like, "I'll pay you that amount of dollars. Could you marry me so I can go out?"
So romantic. Would you
Hey.
marry me?
I don't know, man. This is something that I thought now.
Yeah, I don't think you.
It will be. I'll be well now. Probably not.
No, I'm probably not even getting a visa to fly to North Korea? Like,
I think you need to be
you need to explain why you're coming.
why you're yeah.
Like, why are you coming?
Like,
What do you need?
I'm gonna ask my friend because he went 2 years ago
Really?
to run a marathon,
Okay.
and obviously the first thing that I asked him was like, how is it? How's North Korea? Like, how do you like?
Yeah,
I
tell me
haven't seen
about
any
it.
Yeah, tell me, I haven't seen a picture of North Korea before. And he was like, yeah, it's weird. Like you can feel like as soon
Yeah.
as you step out of the plane, you feel a weird vibe.
Fuck.
You know, like in the ambient, it's like you feel like you're somewhere, like you're not even in this world.
Like a ghost town,
Something like that.
you know?
Something like that. And it's very old. It's the part that probably he was. And he posted a picture. I think someone took a picture of him, like running. But I don't know if
okay.
it's yeah.
Was he allowed to bring his cell phone?
That's the thing. You can see the picture like really sneaky.
Mm.
I'm gonna Google like I think he posted on Facebook.
But is he allowed to go with his phone?
I don't think that you're allowed to do it
Okay.
because that's the thing. You cannot take pictures from North Korea or video
Really?
because you're gonna show the outside world how they're living.
Yeah, but from the documentary that I'm telling you about, like,
But-
apparently there's some like you wouldn't see anything really, you know.
Outside of
Yeah.
were they journalists?
Can't remember. Probably they were filmmakers, but they were like, you know, on the bus, and I think you can't film when people are running. I feel like, or like there's like some rules. So you can't take a photo of this and this and this. You can't film this and this and this. But you know, they were like filming, you know, sneakily and like, you know,
Yeah.
with a small camera, blah blah. But everything that you will see is like really normal.
Seems
you know,
normal.
like seems normal. Like it is true. I have to say the cities were like maybe too. I don't know how to explain it. Like super gray, you know, like it's like
No color.
yeah,
Yeah.
like lifeless, I guess. Like gray, stone, you know, shades, you know, really I think people don't wear like colorful clothes
Yeah.
even. So it's like really everything really looks like a little bit death. But apparently all the restaurants, all the shiny things are indoors. So on the outside the buildings will look like
Just plain gray,
gray
normal building.
yeah, concrete. And then when you walk in, it's like lights and, you know, restaurants and stuff. And also, because that's what my thinking is, okay, really nice. You need something to give to these people so they don't complain or they don't think that this is hell, right?
Yeah.
So these guys were like asking people and they were like showing what the life is like when they're not at work. And they have like water parks that they can go when they have
Yeah.
like free time. And they look like really happy and like, oh, this is life, thanks to our president or whatever, our God, because he's like more of a god than anything. So yeah, from the outside it doesn't look like, you know, there's not a dragon, you know, spitting fire.
Yeah.
But also it looks weird. Yeah, indeed, it looks weird.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. That
Yeah,
documentary.
it's interesting. We can watch it later if you want. Because yeah, I've watched it a couple weeks ago and I don't remember every detail, but like, yeah, basically, it doesn't look normal. Like, you know, something's going on, but it doesn't look like, oh, these people
Something
are
is
really
off.
suffering here, you know.
Something is odd.
Also because they're told they're not suffering. I mean, they're told that this is the best they can get. They're told like the outside world is like bad and ugly and like they are the enemies. So
Yeah. I'm gonna see if Mexico has an embassy in North Korea. I don't think
There's
they
a lot
do.
of Mexicans
Like I said,
undercover.
I don't think that they exist. You know,
I don't even know. I think they're like, one of a kind country. They
don't have anything like.
don't have to respond to anyone. It's like they don't even follow human rights. Like they what's it called? The ONU, NU, the NU.
So
UN.
The UN. Yeah.
The UN, yeah. I was like translating in Spanish. Anyway, the UN, they're not part of it. They're not part of any global organization. So
yeah, so in what was it, 1993? Hold on a second. It's just in the 80s when Mexico and North Korea established diplomatic relations.
okay,
And there is 366 North Koreans living in Mexico.
how many?
How? 366.
Okay,
Just a couple.
a couple
Hundreds. A couple hundred.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, no, not bad. But I don't see if there is.
How did they get there?
I don't know.
Damn.
That's the question.
I mean, through the ocean, obviously.
But this is the thing. Like
Did they run away or?
in 1993, North Korea opened an embassy in Mexico City. But I don't know if Mexico City has an embassy in North Korea. They must be.
Yeah. Are there any embassy in North Korea?
That's the thing. Like I don't think that there is an embassy. Like why? Like is there not tourism or any
There's some.
diplomatic relationship like trade things? You know what I mean? Like why would you open an embassy?
You would open it for your, like, if your country has people there, like, or your country can travel there, you would think that there's an embassy. What was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, if there's a North Korean embassy in Mexico, I would think that, like, it's at least
There
possible.
must be, right?
Yeah.
Like, there should be.
Like that.
I don't know. Oh, what I'm reading is quite interesting.
What are you reading?
I don't know. Like, it's a lot of politics from Mexico that I wouldn't expect.
Like what?
You know, like Mexico always remain like neutral.
Yeah.
I feel like if there is a war, Mexico is gonna support the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same, because it's like the U.S. government or country, they have Mexico grab him, by the balls.
Yeah.
Because of many things. But I think as in terms of a nation, I think we can be, I don't want to say, but we can be stronger.
Yeah.
Than the U.S., like any other nation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They think like because of their international agreements and probably like oil. That's, I mean, this is probably going back when was the second World War, the World War II. Mexico participated, or like it was involved, because one of the oil ships, or two of them, they got sunk
Gotcha.
by the Germans or Japanese.
Yeah.
But it was the U.S. I mean, this is
You're
like kind of
kidding.
like a theory or conspiracy, because the U.S. government was asking, like, like that old, how do you call it? What was the name? Well, that group of countries,
Yeah.
they needed oil.
Yeah.
And back in that time, Mexico probably was one of the biggest, and because of the relation that with the U.S., they can send oil, right?
Yeah.
And they asked them like, hey, we need this. So they didn't want to participate. They wanted to stay neutral.
Yeah.
So the U.S. causes that sinking. So that way Mexico will be involved in the war, will be contributing with the oil and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what will happen now.
Is that like a conspiracy theory or like?
It's not a conspiracy. It's more like a theory, like more like a fact.
a fact. Okay, just like a little bit of a difference.
It's well known that it wasn't the Germans, it wasn't the Japanese.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah. It was because the U.S. needed the oil.
Yeah.
And still they need them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna read this later. It's quite interesting. And I don't know if I can, as a Mexican, I can go to
USA was very late to enter World War II, right? Was that World War One? I think it was World War II.
What?
USA did not enter the war.
No, Mexico.
No, but USA as well didn't enter until really late.
I don't know. To be honest,
It was definitely.
But they were involved in both.
Yeah.
Both wars. Or maybe.
No, they were.
Yeah.
It was just there was one where they stayed out of it, for as long as they could, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something that they used to teach in the school. I don't think that they teach it anymore. Or maybe some facts, some dates, but not
In Mexico.
No, I think in general.
I mean, we usually just learn about Australia and their own shit.
Yeah, when they went to Turkey, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Australia existed back then, or Australia was in the war.
Yeah.
You know, they used to teach Italy, Germany, not even Spain. I didn't know that Spain supported the Nazis, right?
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
What do you have to say to these accusations?
Sorry.
It's an accusation. Yeah, it's a direct.
Apparently, Spain's with the Nazis.
Say it again.
Apparently, Spain's with the Nazis.
What? What are you saying?
During the World War. Oh yeah, check your.
Yeah, my sound is not working.
Yeah, sure.
So way off this time. Apparently, Spain was with the Nazis in World War II. That's what Diego is telling me.
I'm assuming so. I don't know. Yeah. We were under dictatorship, so obviously,
okay, gotcha.
Actually, our civil war was the trial for the Second World War.
Fuck.
So yeah, not me though.
You?
I'm anti-Nazi, but anti-racist and anti-everything. But
anti-everything?
Anti-everything.
You're anti-friendship?
You know what I mean.
Okay. I know.
Anti-everything that is wrong. According to my beliefs and principles.
Isn't that everyone though? Isn't everyone against what they think is wrong? Their own personal.
Yeah, I guess, but I'm right.
That's a difference.
I stand.
That's fair enough.
Anyway.
I admire your confidence.
Don't confuse. You're making me confused. So the reality, my friends, is that I went to the toilet and I was ready for the question. That's why I'm a little bit. Yeah, I was caught by surprise. So yeah, sadly, Spain was what's the word?
In what? Participating? Involved?
Yeah, all that. But I mean, sometimes this happens to me, that I'm looking for a word and I can't think of it. And I'm starting to look for it in Spanish, but I can't think of it either.
Oh, okay.
Not even in
So
Spanish?
I'm in a limbo of languages.
I don't relate because I just stick to English when I can't think of a word,
I was gonna say, never mind. Just keep talking, guys. I'll step out.
Well,
Yeah, I thought it was just Japan, Germany, and Italy versus.
no, I mean, a lot of countries.
Fuck.
they were involved.
Damn.
Maybe no like military,
Yeah.
but they were occupied. Like a lot of
Yeah, like
North Africa was occupied by the Nazis, Germany.
Yeah.
So they were in war as well. They were like.
But I didn't think it was anyone else that was on. I thought that was like one team was Japan, Germany, and Italy without anyone else on the team. That's what I.
That was the main countries, but they were getting support from other countries.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They were getting support in terms of.
It's not that Spain's really powerful either.
No, like they were probably sending supplies or.
I think they were like really busy doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Because it was like the first years of the dictatorship, so they will support Hitler and the Nazi movement, if that's a thing I can say. I don't even know. But they weren't being really active towards it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm like.
I feel like
really,
I would have
really
known if
stupid
they were
saying
more
that.
active. I mean, I feel like you should know because you're Spanish. Like,
Yes.
That's why I should know, and I feel really stupid right now.
it's alright.
Like,
If my friends, honestly,
I
shut
know
up.
because there is when Mexico went to war,
Yeah.
they sent a squadron of pilots
Yeah.
to fly to fight in Japan, I think.
Yeah.
And they will call it the 201 Squadron. Squad, yeah?
Yeah.
Something like that. And they get celebrated every year.
Yeah.
Like every year we remember them.
Yeah.
Same probably like here when you remember the
Yeah.
soldiers from, that fight.
Yeah, all that fucking
all
got
of it.
killed. Like,
Yeah. So we remember them like they were, selected, and I think they sent like 300 or something like that just to join the American forces probably.
And they were like, what heroes sort of thing, like.
I mean, no one remember, like, I don't know if all of them die, hopefully not, but no one remembers like a one person. They remember that as a collective.
Yeah.
But they were like, yeah. But they don't teach you much in depth at school.
Yeah.
Like, hey, they went like this.
Nah, man, we learn about like the
probably.
fucking.
And there's another story like I was telling Laura the other day. I don't remember. Oh, that's because we were in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And there is the Mexican cowboy. We call it charro. And apparently they were created during that era, in World War II, to fight Hitler, like to actually fight face-to-face German Nazis.
Yeah.
Like on, like on the horse,
Horseback, yeah.
fucking swords and rifles.
Yeah.
But they never sent them.
Oh, fuck.
They were never sent to the fight. That would be pretty so cool.
Yeah.
Like that kind of like that small part of it remembers me now in Glorious Bastards.
Yeah.
That group of soldiers going to fight the Nazis face to face. But yeah, I think they were doing kind of like a comic.
Oh yeah.
Or they I think I saw somewhere. But that would be pretty cool, making a movie or TV show about like some Mexicans, I don't know, riding a horse in Germany somewhere.
Calling glorious Mexicans.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, man, during the World War II, someone, I think, I don't know what I wanted to say. I don't know. Forget about it. It's nothing important.
I feel like we're getting we're talking about things that we don't have all the facts to, and we're like, oh
probably.
shit,
Like
I don't know.
I said in a
Talking
movie.
the talk.
Someone's gonna
like
call
I
us
said in
out.
a movie, but I did my research. So.
Yeah.
So
We didn't know that World War II was going to be a topic for this podcast.
That is true. Like
yeah,
I didn't
communism,
study. I'm
North
sorry.
Korea, COVID.
Well, I do need a visa to go to North Korea, and the Mexican embassy, obviously is in South Korea. So I don't need to go there, but I need to apply through the South Korean Seoul embassy. When am I too close? And yeah, that's it.
I have to correct what I said
Before
before.
about Spain.
Yeah. So even though Franco, obviously he agreed with Hitler's ideas.
Yeah.
They didn't join the war, so they stayed neutral. Because apparently they were relying on inputs from the US.
Yeah.
So obviously it wasn't in our best interest to like join the war, because that would affect us more than help us. And then so Canary Islands, there's like a part of land really down south that is Spanish, but Britain wanted it.
Oh yeah.
So the Canary Island and Spanish Morocco, that is called. If we joined Germany and Italy, they will like probably the UK will like take it back.
Oh yeah.
Those lines. So, and also because we were like, we just gotten out of the civil war and all that, like, it wasn't in the best interest.
So you had a civil war before Franco?
Yeah.
Is that? Oh, okay. And was it
From
one after?
1936 to 1939, there was a civil
Franco
war.
or during Franco?
Before.
Okay.
So he just like, he did a coup d'etat, that's called, right?
Yeah.
And from 1936 to 1939, they will belong to the army and the military.
Yeah.
So the military will fight the rightful government, who was a republic.
Yeah.
And there was like two sides.
Yeah.
Obviously, and they will like fight for 3 years. And Franco, the military side, won the war, and he will like be on the power for like 40 years. He died on 1978.
And so like there was no civil war, like there was nothing to get rid of him. He just died, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He killed a lot of people that belonged to the other side. He was obviously like, I don't even know how to explain these things, but like, obviously he repressed during his years on the power of freedom was like obviously really repressed, and like no one really, they couldn't do anything about it. You know, you can't like just organize a war out of nowhere after a civil war that he just won, you know.
Yeah.
Like, people are lost, they are like obviously on a shit place, so they have to rebuild their lives.
Yeah.
In this country, where the people that are in power hate them or treat them like shit, etc., etc. So no, there wasn't like another attempt of like another civil war or anything. But he just died in 1978, and then democracy started in our country.
Wow. That's.
Yeah, it's good that no one like went after him.
I didn't know that's how it happened. Like I thought it was like dictatorship, and then just more dictatorship, and like.
Yeah. I think people just. I think we should watch something about it for you to like learn about it, because I'm not the right person to teach you anything really. But yeah, he actually. So before the Republic, so I think I'm not gonna get into this.
Okay.
There's people listening, and yeah, I'm
wanna
not
get it
sure
right
if I'm
one.
like giving the right, numbers and data. So I'm just gonna stay aside.
That's all right. Look, that's interesting when you were asking me, like just how many countries. This is World War One.
Oh, yeah. I mean, World War
first
One
one.
is like a little more complicated, I think.
I think so. Like I don't know much about that one.
Yeah,
There's
it's
so
a little more
many-
complicated.
That was actually like the whole war
Yeah.
happening. Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, World War Two always seemed very. I mean, fuck, man. Like, from what I learned, it was like very simple. It's like Germany, Italy, and like Japan wanted to like take the overlord, and like we gotta go stop them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, not too many. I mean, well, still. But like I said, like maybe just they were like no fighting, but they were supporting
Yeah.
with things, like oil.
Letting them like
Food.
travel through the land.
Yeah.
Like,
But they were made like those main countries: Italy, Japan, Russia.
in World War Two,
Yeah,
Russia was on the other side.
the good team.
Yeah, like I think they pretty much like. I don't know if they fucking did all the fighting at the start or all the fighting at the end, but it was like one or the other. Like
Oh
there
yeah,
was,
the good team because
yeah,
Russia apparently
yeah,
end the war, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Damn. It's another topic. This is another podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna start a whole new podcast.
We
We're
need
gonna
to do some research
about
before
what the fuck-
getting into this.
I
I think
like it. I like talking
Yeah.
about politics. And
I regret everything I said for
You're
the
gonna-
past 15
Sorry,
minutes.
Do you want to start again? We can just do another.
Yeah, I think we should
No
start
one will
again.
ever-
you can delete this part, right?
Absolutely, I can.
Yeah, sure.
I can. Do
Yeah,
that.
I think we're
It's
talking
possible
shit,
for me to do that.
and this is not.
You know what?
Good.
Stop it right now.
We were doing great until this point. Now we started
It was
talking
his
shit.
fault. Me.
Talking about North Korea
Fuck, I just want to
and
go to North
history when
Korea.
we don't know
Let's
much
go.
about it.
That is true. It's not our
Sorry
fault.
to
It
my
is our fault.
teachers.
You know what? Should you be sorry? Because
No,
if there were
yes.
better fucking teachers
Yeah.
with better course material, we would all be fucking well versed in knowledge.
But yeah,
You know, the following systems, because, yeah, I used to study just to go through the test, you
Yeah.
know, and 2 days after the test I wouldn't remember anything I studied. So,
No.
is it the
Cry.
system or is it you, Don?
I don't know. I want to believe the system.
Yeah, we always blame the system.
Yeah, but I would like to know more because it sounds, I want to say smart.
Well, like, what did
Oh,
you
it
learn
sounds-
in history? Like,
I learned everything.
you learned everything?
I mean, I didn't learn much from Australia.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's like, I always thought history was like, depending on where you lived,
Yeah.
the history you learned at school was like very
Yeah, but we have
specific.
world history as well. So we study from, the start of humanity. Like, obviously not as in-depth as the story of Spain, but, like, you study a little bit of context, you have to understand where the human comes from and everything.
Yeah.
And, like, how they developed, I don't know, fire and, like, hunting and cities,
Yeah.
the Roman Empire, Greece,
Gotcha.
the discovery of America, all these kind of things.
Okay. Wait, what? Sorry, can you tell? How old are you at this point?
I don't know. I'm like, this is like throughout your education life. So you start studying about, not history, but like the, what's it called? The medio ambiente, like the,
environment.
yeah, like the environment you live. So you start like learning about trees and like
Yeah.
how,
That's biology.
Huh?
Isn't that biology?
No, but the subject is not called biology. It's like you're in school, so it's called conocimiento del medio. It's like
No,
get to know
I-
your environment. That's the subject.
Okay.
So you learn like how it is that it rains, the trees, blah 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 blah, and then you start learning the solar system. You're still in school.
Yeah.
The stars, the I don't know, soil, how you make babies. That's in
You
school.
guys learned that at school?
Yeah,
Oh,
like I remember that episode. You know, that was like everyone's like laughing.
Yeah, like they
You
show
were
the
like
human-
10 or 11.
They show the human body.
Yeah, the
and all
human
the
body,
parts and
the you know.
the reproductory system.
There you go.
I went to school, yeah.
Yeah. So that's in school, in primary school. And then you go to secondary school when you're like 12 and you start learning more about history
True, yeah, true.
and more about like, you know, the events, the development of events. So you start learning from the ancient world, like when we became Homo sapiens to today. And that's like from when you're 12 to when you're 17 or 18. So, yeah.
But it
That's
also
a-
depends. When I was in secondary school, yeah, I saw that, you know, like we used to call it like universal history. So you see the history around the world, right?
Yeah.
The Roman Empire and all those things, you know, like the timeline, what will happen every 50, every 100 years.
Yeah.
And then when I went to high school, we didn't see much about universal history,
Yeah.
but we were more focusing on the Mexican or Latin America
Yeah.
history, like more in depth, like what was happening during World War One in Mexico, or what was happening during World War Two in Mexico. So
Yeah.
we were like seeing or like learning more about that, right?
Yeah.
Because we have so much history.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like since indigenous, like since was created Mexico,
Yeah.
and then till, you know, the
Today.
civil till today, you know, because then you get the colonize, you know, like discoverment of America,
Yeah.
and then there's a lot of time or there's a lot of history, like how Mexico, the independence of Mexico, and then you get the revolution, and then you get a little
So
bit
you
of
learn
war.
from Mexico,
Yeah.
basically.
A lot. I mean, not a lot, but
I think it depends, I guess, on the teacher. Like,
Yeah, true.
Maybe some teachers like the universal, as you call it, history better, or like they think it's more important for you to understand how, like, the world works. But obviously, you need to know the world around you.
as well.
So obviously, it's more important for you that you know Australian history than that you learn Mexican history, because you live in Australia. So in order for you to be a functional person in Australian society, you need to understand how Australia became to be what Australia is right now. You know what I mean?
I have a question for Michael. Do you recall seeing something about the American continent
In history,
in history or in school?
just World War II. That they were like just their part in World War II. That's
it?
the only time we learnt about America. Yeah.
Well, that's so little.
Yeah.
That's nothing. So
You,
you guys-
you didn't learn about the discovery of America,
No.
Columbus, no?
No.
Nothing like that.
Do you guys think that North America, Central America, and South America, are they one continent or three different continents?
No, probably one. Yeah.
One. Because I have this conversation with an Australian guy
Yeah.
and an Asian guy that they were saying that
But-
South America was one continent, like Latin America,
Yeah.
and then North, like like America was divided in two. I'm like, no.
I think it's accepted nowadays.
Could be nowadays maybe because I stopped going.
I
to
learned there
school.
was like 5 continents. That's all I know.
Yeah.
But nowadays,
No,
the other day I was,
now they
I
say
was
7.
I was on Instagram
7
and
countries.
like celebrity, like famous actress.
Yeah.
She was like saying, I've traveled all the 7 continents. I was like, what the fuck? What
like
continents?
7
What
seas?
are you talking about? It's 5.
Wait, what's the go? I mean, yeah, because 7 sounds like more the number that we learned.
So what? Could you name the continents?
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's go make it. Yeah, we might have to actually start this episode from again. Anyway, so Asia, Africa, that's pretty much it, right? No. Europe, America, Australia.
Australia.
Yes,
That's so cute.
Are you fucking kidding? Yeah, Australia's a
You say
continent with us.
Yeah, Mexico's a continent. It's the capital of the world.
Dude, 100. That's what we learned. Australia's a continent. Maybe it should be called
Oceania.
Sea? Yeah, or say Oceania.
How do you call it? Oceania?
Oceania, yeah.
Oceania.
But you guys know that, right?
What?
That
No, I think it's
the name?
accepted as well.
No, but like the name of Oceania.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you guys-
but like,
you guys don't use it.
I mean, I just used that, but like it wasn't.
But you'd rather say Australia.
Yeah.
But that's the
But Australia, the continent Australia,
Yeah.
what does it include?
See, that's a fucked up part
Yeah.
because obviously it has to include New Zealand,
Yeah.
right? And like
yeah.
some,
and all
The
the Pacific
Antarctic-
Islands.
some, yeah, exactly, some
¿Y
islands.
Antártida?
I think so.
Yeah.
Belongs to Oceania.
No,
No?
that's another one.
Antarctica is Antarctica.
I think so.
So it's
I don't know.
America
Oceania, it's Australia, New Zealand, and Antarctica.
and the Pacific Islands.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
No one cares about
Forget
those.
about the
So it's like America, Asia, Europe, Africa, America. That's it. Did I say Oceania?
Did you say?
Yeah. 5.
Say it again, sorry.
America, Africa,
Yeah.
Europe, Asia, and Oceania.
Yeah.
Oceania.
From where do you get the other 2?
Antarctica.
So
Latin America.
North America and South America.
It's
And then the 7th one is Antarctica as
there's
a
nothing
different
there.
country.
Yeah, dude, I think
not
we
fucking-
split America up into North and
Yeah.
South.
Yeah, that's
Because
I don't know why, because you're from 1991, so your generation is, older than mine, and I still learn that America is one
Well,
continent.
obviously, you guys just laughed when I said Australia was a continent, so I'm assuming that you guys learn different shit, like just.
Obviously, because we
As
don't
it
live in
is.
Australia,
That's right.
like
I don't remember to be on when I was learning
Yeah.
history or geography. Yeah, I do remember seeing Australia always been Australia, but I think in some part of the world back in the days they used to call it Oceania, not even Australia. I don't
the
know why.
island,
The island, yeah.
Australian island.
Well, that makes more sense because.
Or when you see, have you seen this game Monopoly? But like with
No,
countries.
Risk.
Yeah. What?
That one, Risk.
The game, the board game.
Yeah.
I don't know the name in
Oh,
English,
okay.
but they have
Yeah, I
like
think it's
different
Risk.
countries.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, and then they name the country. They say Oceania,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
the country is Australia.
Okay.
But that maybe just as a reference.
But in Europe, it doesn't. Nothing is called Europe instead. Like
Yeah,
apart from
I know.
Europe, you don't need to be called. You know what I mean? I understand that Australia thinks it's a better name for the continent because it's the biggest land with people in it.
Yeah.
Okay. But as we learned it was Oceania.
Oceania. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen other people categorize it as Australasia.
Oh yeah, Australasia, yeah.
Australasia, sorry.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
English,
that makes that.
So it's
It was
North
a bit of a
America,
doubt.
South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australasia, and Antarctica.
So not even Asia.
No,
So now Asia is.
I think Australasia is like
I think that includes
a bigger category. It's not continent. It's like a bigger category.
I think that's something else. I
No.
think that's
I think it's more like Southeast Asia is included.
in Australasia.
Yeah.
But that's when you were talking about like.
Then Asia should be another country.
No,
Continent. Sorry.
But
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
when you say Australasia, I
Yeah.
think when you're talking about like businesses, economy related with, between these. I think that's
Anyway, to me, there's 5 continents and 6 oceans. You know?
6 or
We
7?
didn't even get to oceans, man. You guys are ahead.
6. That's why I
How
remember.
many-
It was like 5 continents and 6 oceans.
How many-
I can't name it. Don't ask me to name them.
Name it again. Like,
Atlantic.
what?
No.
Atlantico?
Atlantic Ocean.
Pacific
Indic-
Ocean?
Pacific.
Indic. What do you got the other ones?
Wait. Pacific, Atlantic, Indic. I don't know. I don't know the name
What,
in
Indian
English.
Ocean or?
Indic.
Look at us. We're fucked.
Black Sea.
That's a sea. That's not an ocean. That's a sea. The
That's from
red,
back when
black.
pirates used to exist, man.
The Antarctic Ocean.
Yeah.
The
So-
Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, maybe there was 4 and 5 continents. Maybe I've named them all already. Wait, let me-
Maybe the next podcast we can start with a little bit of history, geography.
I like this. Talk,
Yeah, I like
talk,
that. I like
talk the
this.
talk, man.
Yeah. Especially when we don't know what we're saying. I mean, we went from like, what's our own personal experiences to like, let's do a history lesson. That's how we roll here. We just,
I think I like talking about history and geography.
dude, let's
when
watch
I
a
know
documentary right now.
When I study a subject.
Yeah.
When you-
Fuck. You know, it's cool now, but back in the day, I was like, fuck that. I don't want to pay attention. I just want to
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like before, it's like, oh, this is so boring. And
Yeah.
you didn't
It's 5
five what?
didn't pay attention.
oceans.
Because I was going to say continents. That's
So
one.
Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern.
Southern Ocean?
I don't
That
buy
sounds
that.
made up.
Arctic. That's why there was 4. There was 4. The Southern Ocean. I didn't.
But how many continents does Google say there are?
Let's see. I think it's gonna say from 5 to 7.
5 to 7. No, we've got to be specific.
So let me try.
Just type it.
Be patient with us, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it takes some time to get
So
true
there are
knowledge
several
to you.
ways of distinguishing the continents. 4 continents.
4.
So
Oof.
if you want to say there's 4 continents, you can say it. Apparently, the first one is Eurasia, the old world.
Afro-Eurasia.
The second one, America, the new world. Antarctica and Australia.
Fuck, bro. So we're still, even when there's 4 continents, we're still one of them. That's fucking
The
gangster.
5 continents. If you want to say there's 5 continents, you can say it's Africa, Eurasia. What is this guy talking about? America, Antarctica, and Australia. So
At the end of the day, Australia is a fucking continent, and Europe and Asia are the same thing.
6 continents: Africa, Asia, Europe, America, Antarctica, and Australia. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm in Australia and they're
Yeah,
trying to,
probably.
brainwash me.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. This seems like correct to me. Okay, Australia.
Every different.
How do you become a continent anyway? Because of the mass.
Yeah, and you're
Dude,
separated. You're separated by other.
No, dude, look at Asia. Asia is like
Yeah.
so big.
Yeah, should be. Part
Australia
of
and
Europe.
Antarctica should be the same.
Yeah, I agree. Give us that
And
piece of land.
even New Zealand is on grey. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, that's-
they're
it's like a-
nowhere to be part of.
They're like our little brother, you know.
All right.
But we don't. They're not. They're part of the continent Australia, but they're not part of the country Australia.
This is the 7 continent model. So the 7 is Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Antarctica, and Australia.
Yeah, that.
It's
sounds
usually
like whatever.
taught in most English-speaking countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, and Australia.
Dude, that's
in
all
the
that
North
matters. then.
America continent, can you see which countries they are?
Yeah.
Which
Mexico is North America.
country? Oh, there you go.
That's all you matter, right? Like,
No,
that's
because-
all that matters to you.
It's like, oh yeah, Mexico Central. It's Central America.
Why do you feel offended by that?
I don't.
Is it
Just like-
Central America worse?
No. Actually, Central America belongs to North America, doesn't it?
So, yeah, according to
Yeah.
the map, it
Yeah.
does. But to me, in our school, they will teach us America was divided in 3: North America, Central America, and South America. So
Yeah.
we learned that
That's
Mexico
how-
is in Central America. That's what I've learned. I don't give a shit.
It's okay because we're the center of the continent.
So you don't want to be a part of the South, huh? You're a little bit racist.
The South is too cold for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you're not in South America, for sure.
It's North America, Central America, South America, and then the Caribbean.
We've learned a lot today.
That's how
We've also misdirected a lot of people as well, I'm sure.
That's our favorite thing to do.
That's right, because there's like 2 people listening, so it's fine. It's like,
Actually, another friend asked me, like, hey, what's the link?
We're gonna go fucking viral.
Let's
Be
see it.
like this little silly people.
are breaking barriers and educating everyone. Okay, thanks for listening, everyone. Goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's it.
All right, quickly before we go, shout out to Bob Lalingus, Michael Angelis, Mum. I don't think there's anyone else.
Our history teachers for doing such a great job.
Yeah, fuck you guys, man. You made us look like idiots.
No, I really liked my teacher.
Yeah?
I like one of my teachers.
Yeah?
Just one.
Only one.
I hated all my history teachers, just FYI.
I love them all. Yeah, so we'll go and study a little bit more about the subjects and the topics that we're talking about, and bring some great information and actually accurate next time.
But we're going to have to start a whole new podcast for that.
Yeah, this is just for fun. You don't have to take us seriously.
Yes, you do. You
Just
have to,
a little disclaimer.
What are you talking about, man? This is well legit.
Yeah, go get a tiny house. That's you should take it seriously on that
And
regard.
give Antarctica to Australia. I think that was the most important.
And the Mexico is part of North America.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Spain remained neutral
And Spain.
in World War II.
Was supporting Nazis.
How could you? Oh, hold on.
I'm a Republican.
Good on you.
On heart. Not like Republicans in North America. That's
What type of Republican?
that means it's another meaning.
That's
You know,
another
it's
Yeah, we'll get to this next
confusing.
time.
It's confusing.
We're going to go eat some
I'll
Chinese
take it
food.
back. I'll take it back.
Support the local Chinese grocer. I mean, restaurant.